With that, I'm very happy to welcome Patrick Byrne, entrepreneur and patriot. His 2 decades as founder and CEO of Overstock.com were years of innovation and breakthrough that became part of the fabric of e-commerce. He doesn't want me talking about that. We all know who you are. Everybody knows who Patrick Byrne is. If you don't, catch up, folks.
Guilty, Your Honor. Guilty as charged.
Well, I will tell people they can go to EnemyWithinDocuSeries.com, Enemy Within DocuSeries, to see your incredible documentary series and follow you on X at Patrick Byrne. That's B-Y-R-N-E. Mr. Byrne, thanks so much for joining us today.
It's Patrick, and nice to see you, Harrison. And I will echo your comments that your viewers should be supporting you. History is going to see this like Ho Chi Minh's war of the ants against the elephant. It was thousands of little sources, citizen journalists, coupled with you're much more than an ant. You were much, but anyway. So your work has been so valuable. Listen, I've got 2 important responses to what I've heard so far. I've got some big news I want to slip on you quickly. Are you aware of about the Secretary of State meeting today?
No.
At 3. Okay, big news. Tulsi Gabbard and Pam Bondi have asked to address, there's a meeting today of the National Association of Secretaries of State. So each state has its own Secretary of State who runs the licensing, corporate, blah, blah, and runs the elections. They have a convention twice a year. They're getting together today for a couple of days. And Tulsi has said, we Pam Bine and I are going to come speak to you at 3 p.m. and carry it on C-SPAN. So C-SPAN today at 3 p.m. Eastern is going to have Tulsi and Pam Bondi. God, these people are becoming like Madonna, aren't they? Just brands in themselves. They're showing up at the National Association of Secretaries of State convention and saying, we are talking to you at 3 p.m. today. It was suddenly scheduled. My guess is this might have something to do with election integrity. And who knows, maybe they found something already in Fulton, Georgia.
Well, that would make a lot of sense. As we know, Tulsi Gabbard was there on the scene as the FBI was confiscating the evidence. And we'd been hearing, rumors that maybe Tulsi Gabbard was on the outs. Apparently, she wasn't involved in the Venezuelan raid. I don't know if you have any, information about that. But clearly, she was working on other stuff behind the scenes. She wasn't being excluded necessarily, but she was obviously working on this.
Yes, Tulsi's not on the outs or everything I hear. She is key, and she's the, you gotta, as the old song goes, you gotta be a football hero if you want to go out with the beautiful girls. Tulsi's the football hero here. Tulsi has taken this to the end zone. There are others who could have, but this whole election integrity effort has been mounted. There's a team of the best under Tulsi who've gone in and ripped it apart and absorbed the mountains of information that were available from, in all these states, the citizens, all these Garland Favorito folks in Georgia, you probably know, people like that, fighting these for 4 years, and just all the information that got surfaced through the lawsuits, the FOIAs, and so forth, as well as all this stuff from the Venezuelan defectors. It took a big team to absorb it all. Tulsi's really, I think, the hero of it. It also took a big brain to absorb it all. So she's not on the outs with anyone, as far as I can tell. We got to see. I think that she's going to do something historic. My guess would be she's doing something historic at 3 p.m. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that that testimony from Sydney did not help Trump. Right. Because once she acknowledged that his own lawyers had told him it was lost, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. I was in the room. They never said that. They wouldn't take a position. They were all mealy-mouthed. That's why Flynn finally stood up and said, what are you saying happened? What do you think happened on November 3rd? They were all mealy-mouthed. They would not tell Trump. They never told Trump he had lost, that I saw.
Interesting. Okay, we'll get back into that. I'm glad you cleared that up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Alex Jones Show. I'm your host, Harrison Smith, sitting in for Alex today. Very excited to welcome my guest, Patrick Byrne. You can follow him on X at Patrick Byrne. EnemyWithinDocuSeries.com is where you can go to find his docuseries. And of course, I knew you'd have some pertinent information about all of this. And as I was watching the Sidney Powell deposition, the reason I thought it was interesting is just, I assumed she was telling the truth. I'd love if you could clarify it. But just it gave you a sense of sort of the chaos, and that Trump knew he lost, and he knew he lost for all these good reasons, but that he just couldn't get people around him to do what they wanted. And it got into the whole, controversy between her and I guess Rudy Giuliani. It's an interesting look into the chaos of the Trump administration in that in-between period between the election and January 6th. Of course, you were there. So if you want to start with that, how are you feeling about this here 5.5, 6 years later, that something's actually happening? I mean, this is exciting.
This is very exciting. We know what they're going to find. We're very confident they're going to find what we have found. We actually have 5 hard drive images from 5 counties in 2020 that were Dominion hard systems, and in all 5 of them, and I released this yesterday on Emerald, but I got permission to release this, incidentally. So this is big news, and that is on the 5 that we examined, that we found something, and I'm confident to say they're going to find it in Fulton, Georgia. And that is, there's something called the DLLs in a computer system. That's I don't want to get too dolphin speak on you. It's a library of tools. So there's a great metaphor to explain it. Think of a big auto repair shop with 10 different cars and 10 different bays, and a different mechanic working on each car. There's one big tool set that they all run to and grab whatever tool they need at the moment and then return. Computer systems, these have that. It has a library of these tools, and the different programs that are running just go and access this one shared toolbox. That's your DLL, your library, digitized link library, I think it stands for. And that if it has one change after certification, that invalidates the whole system, because it's just the point you want to bury a hidden script, or you want to bury some hidden instructions. If you can slip it in there, that can be a recipe that does a mountain of work all over the place, runs all these different. So it's really important that be pristine. And once the system is certified, any change there destroys the absolute, instantly invalidates the system. We have found an average of 500 changes after certification in the 5 machines we have found. One of them at 1,000. We're pretty comfortable that they're going to find that in Fulton. And what that means is that system, even Dominion and Associated People will acknowledge one change in that after certification invalidates the entire system for the election. And we have found an average of 500 insertions and changes. These things are all cooked. It's all so pre-cooked, and that's the place where sort of the cooking is stored to be brought out on election day, speaking metaphorically. So I'm pretty confident that they opened up these machines yesterday and they found that. I can tell you another thing I'm very confident they found. So they raided on Wednesday, they opened up on Thursday. On Friday morning, Tulsi's telling the National Association of Secretary of State she wants to come talk to them. I'll tell you something else I'm pretty confident they found. Am I going on too long, Harrison?
I'm listening with rapt attention, sir. Go, please continue.
Okay. Well, first the other thing they will have found is there's 148,000 ballots in special segregated storage by judicial order. And those 148,000 ballots, there's a dozen affidavits that say the same thing. They are 93% Biden, 7% Trump. Every circle is perfectly filled in, like a computer, not a human. And they're mail-in ballots, but there's not a crease in any of them, and they're all together. So which is impossible because mail-in ballots have to be folded. If you assume those were all fake, you could do the math. That means there are 148,000, about 10,000 were for Trump, 138,000 were for Biden, which means there was 128,000 of pro-Biden spread cooked into that little apple pie.
Right.
Well, there's 128,000 cooked into it. Trump only lost by 11,000 votes. 128 of them were that stack. So that's something they could check in 5 minutes. They got there. Remember those pictures of Tulsi standing outside?
Oh, yeah.
I would bet long odds she was calling the president and saying something like, Mr. President, I've put my eyes on these famous 148. That alone, that set of facts I just told you alone, completely overthrows the Georgia election. Before we even get to, there were 70,000 ballots with no images. And I mean, there's images, but no paper. And there's another 17,000 of other ballots with no paper, but just the images. And there's foreign connectivity, and there's this, that, and all this happy horse shit. And all these different places you lose. I mean, it's just a mountain. But the thing that you could see in 5 minutes is, or in 2 minutes, is just open up that one stack and look. And if those 148,000 are in fact uncreased mail-in ballots, as we've said, or is with perfectly filled in circles, you really have your whole answer right there. So my guess is that has something to do with why Tulsi was on site, because she could personally go and look at that and then call the president. There's only one person she was calling on her cell phone from that site. She didn't have to report to anybody else, I'm sure. So it's broken for them. That's why these people are out there. Anyway, so those are two big things I'm confident they found.
Well, those are two huge things. And I got to admit, I'm trying not to get too excited because I've been a little bit down on Trump. I've sort of sparred with you because, but you know a lot more than I do. And I'm 100% so willing to eat all of my words. And I'm just trying not to get too excited because this sounds really big. This sounds like it could be a gigantic deal. And I'm so praying that it is. I mean, the secretaries of state were the people who did this, right? I mean, we covered it back in 2020. You had Jocelyn Benson and all these others, the 5 of the 5 states all coordinating with each other and talking about how they were getting, lawfare, funds ready to fight Trump if he tried to challenge the election. So, I mean, the fact that she's going to give a speech to the Secretary of State with Pam Bondi, I'm trying not to get too excited. Should I be excited, Patrick, or I mean, what do you think she's going to say?
I think at 3 p.m. I think that you should have somebody tuned in on there. Darier, I have this wonderful, my background person, Shannon, and I'll have her tuned in on this. She's in the background. She's sort of mission control in my life. You know that movie, The Accountant, where Ben Affleck is out doing crazy stuff and he's got this kind of artistic woman who sits it back in mission control. That's what I have in my life. I'll have her.
Everybody needs one of those. No, we'll go to it if it's is it 3 p.m. Eastern time?
Yes.
So we'll be on air at 2 p.m. Central when they go to give this speech to the Secretaries of State. I'm extremely excited about that. So what else can you tell us about this raid? Why Georgia in particular? Pennsylvania was full of fraud. Arizona was full of fraud. Why has Fulton County in particular become the epicenter of all of this?
Well, I think what's happened, there's two different ways to explain it. One is there are prosecutions moving forward in the government. I'm not sure what's public and what isn't. So I think it's public that there are three grand juries impaneled in different places and looking at different aspects to things. This could have been triggered by one of them. It could also have been triggered directly, probably was, by Tulsi's own. She's had this working group of 20 people under her who were drawn. I think they're all patriots, and they were drawn from different parts of the three-letter agencies. And that group has really become an epicenter of absorbing everything that had to be absorbed, that all these citizens and citizen journalists and patriots had worked on, or Venezuelans coughed up. So that could be why it was triggered. But it's interesting that it was Tulsi. You know, she does have, it means that their national security authority, it tells me that this is all moved out of the realm of law
enforcement, yeah.
Law. And it's now understood as national security. We also noticed today, I think, the president declared a national emergency over Cuba. Let me tell you, this is really all Cuban. If you really want to know, this is freaking Fidel Castro's last gift to us. Fidel Castro always wanted to destroy the United States. This is the great Bolivarian dream. He cottoned on to this young army officer in Venezuela named Hugo Chavez, who was a bastard, whose father had not loved him, blah, blah, blah. And Fidel played that role and groomed him, got him to be this socialist, Bolivarian revolutionary who then, well, he tried to overthrow his country in 92 or 93. He then got out of prison 4 years later and got elected, and then immediately started jamming the Constitution, doing the Barack Obama. You know, some people view the Constitution as the rules of the game to which we all agree. We're all going to cooperate to the sense that we're going to follow those rules as we pursue our different visions of how to make our country better. But there are some people who, especially totalitarians, tyrants, see those constitutions as a set of handcuffs. They have this vision of what they want to do, and this constitution is a set of handcuffs. So they want to break it as soon as they got in. Hugo Chavez. Anyway, so that's what Hugo Chavez said. This really, ultimately, you got to say China has its role, Russia, Iran. They all have roles, and I'm sure they contributed. But ultimately, this is the dream of Fidel Castro. And he got Venezuela conquered, and then they used the massive wealth of the minerals they've looted, we think, $2.7 trillion, maybe $4 trillion. This cartel did, as their own people they went. When I was there 7 years ago, there was not just starvation, it was cannibalism.
Yeah.
It was, so Fidel, this is actually, you got to think of Cuba and Venezuela as what we're up against here in our hemisphere, without going into the people behind the people. This has all been a Venezuelan-Cuban program, and it used to be Cuba was the big brother. Cuba really is the Venezuelan cartel has been chafing. Maduro was chafing at Cuba, like he no longer wanted to be the little brother. But anyway, this has really been a Cuban intelligence Venezuelan operation to overthrow our country for 2 decades. And they had some help from Russia and Iran and China and some funding and so forth. But this has really been a Cuban-Venezuelan dream to overthrow the U.S. And I'll close on this note. Everybody laughs at that in America because they see these guys as crummy little, banana republics. It's not true. Venezuela had immense wealth, and Cuba is Leninist. They're wonderful at espionage. They're wonderful at espionage, and they're masters of that. And it doesn't matter that they're soldiers trained with broomsticks because they're so broke and stuff. None of that matters. What matters is they've penetrated, the Cuban intelligence has penetrated the U.S. and is really to blame for what happened.
Well, I'm not exactly surprised when you see the number of just openly communist people in this country who, see Cuba as an example of, success of the revolution. So, they probably have a lot of collaborators, willing to work with them here. So is it a coincidence that this occurred a few weeks after the Venezuela raid, or are these two things related in some way?
I think it's all deeply linked. It could well be that Trump's not. I know some things that were done that were actually acknowledged in that confession from Hugo Carvajal, the military intelligence chief who's sitting in prison, acknowledged a bunch of things that are so damaging to the national security of the United States that Cuba was part of. And so this was, in fact, all a plan. Then hitting us with COVID. These BLM people, they were trained down in Venezuela. They were given $10 million and such. They were, this has been a communist program driven by those folks to destabilize our society. I think COVID was part of that. And it was all to position us to jam down this fake election. And then we got to this crazy phase of normalization where suddenly Americans were told for the first time in our lives, there's such a thing as misinformation and disinformation, and we're going to be able to censor you and all this crazy stuff we never thought. And the judiciary just went along with it all. The judiciary went along with all. This is a Maoist, this is a very all of society revolution, people's revolution, every level of society at once, they were ready. So even though this was all blatantly unconstitutional, any lawyer who picked up a pen suddenly has Project 65 come after them,
right,
and say, to get them disbarred. And so basically lawyers backed away. This was all a carefully plotted Bolshevik revolution. A bunch of dirty Bolsheviks overthrew the United States, and they succeeded for 4 years.
And we
were never supposed to get it back. We were never supposed to get a second chance,
I really am glad to know that Trump is making the most out of this, because you're exactly right. And the funny thing about it is that the left can't even come up with reasons to oppose it. They're saying, well, this is about Trump wants to cancel the midterms, or he's just mad that it, but it's like they really have nothing. I mean, you could, they can take the ICE stuff out of context, but they really got nothing. You got to give up the evidence. And if they didn't do anything wrong, then the evidence would prove that out. So clearly, you don't try to hide evidence if you haven't done something wrong. I mean, what comes from this, Patrick? Where do we go from here? Is everybody going to get arrested? Do we undo Biden's administration? I don't even know how we handle this. If it's really just proven incontrovertibly in court officially that they stole the election, what happens next?
Boy, there's so many things that have to be filed. The thing is that we have probably a couple dozen senators in the same position. They know, the whole establishment knows about this. Republicans are in on it, Democrats are in on it, governors, all of them know this. I shouldn't say all of them. There's a bunch of them in on this. Governor Kemp, I'm in Florida, the Governor Kemp next door in Georgia, Raffensperger, those guys were all part of this. Secretaries of State were part of it. That's where the first place that got captured, because the Secretaries of State really are in charge of the elections. So this was an overthrow of the United States of America. This was World War III. All these Americans who have wondered, your generation, we never got we were not the great generation because we didn't get our chance. This was the chance. This is World War III, and you've acquitted yourself beautifully, Harrison, I'll add. But this is World War III, and it was just done in a way that Americans weren't too familiar with.
Well, it still seems like it's happening under the surface. I always use the imagery, it's like the bubbles rising to the top, like something's happening under the water. I can't quite tell, but you get the picture of Tulsi around the corner and you get these little hints, and it's like something big is moving beneath the surface. I really can't wait to find out what it is. And again, I'm going to be so happy to eat all the words I ever said about doubting Trump. I'm so ready for that. And he seems to be making that point too. Did you see his Truth Social post today? It has Alex and it had Owen Schroyer. It might have had me in there, but it's Trump saying, chill out, relax, let him cook. You panicins or, want this to happen too fast. I mean, I would love for that to be true. And he does seem to be signaling that. What's next? What should we be looking for? Are there going to be other raids on other places, or is it all going to start with Fulton County and grow out from there? What's going on behind the scenes here?
Well, that video actually took a slap at Flynn and me as well. And my answer, first, I'm told that a guy named Dilley in the White House, who does good video work, but he seems to always be wanting to slap at Flynn. I'm told that Trump may not even have seen that video, that some of the stuff getting posted he doesn't even, he's posting a lot but this guy Dilley made that video, and he seems to maybe be on someone's payroll to take slaps at Flynn. And my answer, what it says is, that we said that he would stay president. Well, he had to do what we were suggesting he do. He had to lift a finger to stay president. He had to do what he just did 2 days ago. He had to go actually in under his authorities, and raid that, and he had the authority to. He had the authority to. Under stuff Obama had signed, he had the authority to. And that's what we were there to tell him. And you know what's weird? That's another misstatement of Sidney's. So I don't mean to pick a fight with Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell and I are never going to go on a camping trip together. She's been very public, as she was several years ago. We're not friendly. I walked away from her, as did a bunch of people, after working with her for 1 week. And so there's no love lost between Sidney and me. I mean, in March, in Defend the Republic. I don't want to let sleeping dogs lie, I feel. However, that video is very concerning to me because she said 2 things that helped the prosecution, and neither of them were true from what I observed. Now, she may have been part of other conversations where Pat Cipollone and the other lawyers were saying, Mr. President, you lost, you lost, you lost. I was in that famous 4.5 hour conversation. One of the nauseating things about it is they would say, take no such position. They absolutely did not take that position. They took the position that they wouldn't take, they were just mealy-mouthed until finally at one point, General Flynn sort of popped up. I described it in my book, and very gently, we were also flabbergasted. He very gently said, so what are you saying, Pat? What is it you think happened on November 3rd? Could we get clear about that? And Pat Cipollone mealy-mouthed, waffled, and then he finally said, well, sir, I'm not your, Mr. President, I'm your White House attorney, not your campaign attorney. So this mealy-mouthed nothing burger. So it's very strange that Sidney Powell would have told the DOJ that they told Trump, because that was a key element in prosecuting President Trump, Do you understand why?
Yeah, and the way the lawyers were asking the question, they were clearly trying to elicit that answer.
Yeah, well, to charge Trump with insurrection, they had to maintain that his state of mind was he had lost and was cooking up all this other stuff. So it helps them very much for Sidney to have said, yes, those 3 lawyers told Trump that he lost. It helped them bring charge, it helped them cook that stuff up against Trump. And it's especially disturbing to me because I was in the entire 4.5 hour conversation. And that's just flatly untrue. They never took that position. Now, like I say, maybe there were some other positions they were talking about, some other meetings. I don't know the whole DOJ, and there was something else she just said. Besides that, she just said something else that was not at all true in that little clip we saw.
Well, that's very well. I'm sorry for showing the audience things that weren't true. I just thought it was interesting because we were sort of speculating.
It's not your fault. It's Sidney's fault. Sidney was saying stuff. What I'm suggesting is Sidney was saying stuff that helped the prosecution.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, it's key that it's amazing to me that I've never seen that clip. It's absolutely false, and I was in the room.
Wow.
I bet she would say that, but no, what is key is that the other stuff being said, everything that we were saying 5 years ago is bubbling up. Yeah, I think you can assume that there's other Atlantas. I don't know. You want me to you take the last minute. What else do you want to know?
Well, I'd love to get more into that. I mean, can you stay with us for the the rest of the hour?
Sure. Let me give you another 45 seconds to tell you what's really been happening behind the scenes. Where some people all year have been telling Trump, we got to find the guy who's going to grab it, who's going to come forward and says, me, I rigged the 2020 election. And those were more like people who would never actually prosecute anyone. A lot of smart people, a lot of smart lawyers, but they never prosecute anybody. The prosecutor involved who knows this stuff, his name is Stephanie Lambert, and she's been saying, no, just go in, and there's all these different places where they broke the law, where they destroyed records, they did this, that. Just arrest them for that, start grinding them, and work your way up like every other prosecution that ever occurred in history. Let's just try that. Well, finally, they got fed up and they did that. I think that might be part of what's happening.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. More on the other side, folks. Don't go anywhere.
We sell the best supplements.
County election official Susan Voiles, Byrne, that's B-Y-R-N-E. And I actually have a video here, Patrick, of 20-year Fulton County election official Susan Voiles talking about what you were just talking about, those 145,000 ballots that were not creased, that appeared to be printed. I want to go to this just so people can get the full context of what you were referencing and then get your comments on the other side. Again, this is Susan Voiles. She was a Fulton County election official for 20 years. Here's what she saw on 2020, on election day in 2020.
I've seen ballots. I've seen, I've touched ballots. I've felt ballots. The first thing that struck me, though, wasn't the way the ballot was marked. It was how clean these ballots were. And that's where the word pristine came from, because that was the only word that came to me. I said, these are so clean. These are pristine. And I was running my hand over them, and I said to my partner, Barbara, I said, Barbara, look at these. These are almost immaculate. And then I noticed on the bubble that was for Joseph R. Biden, there was a slight eclipse, but I could tell these had been printed. And then as we went through this batch of 110, which should have only been 100, 107 of them all had this little eclipse for Biden. The next thing I saw was I started glancing down the ballot, and every vote on every ballot, both sides, even soil and conservation, was exactly the same.
What about the referendums?
They were exactly the same.
What are the chances of that?
I'd say that's a statistical impossibility. I've done this forever, and most people forget something on a ballot.
And they all voted for the same thing.
They did.
Biden, Ossoff, Warnock, soil and water amendments, it was all the same.
Everything was the same, and they were obviously pre-printed. They tried to tell me the things that they were, but I knew that they weren't that. They couldn't have been adjudicated ballots. These were pre-printed ballots. This is the part that I just am so sure of. I think some of the test ballots from prior to the election made their way into some of these batches. There were 800 in this box. Out of all those, there were less than 40 for Trump and 7 for Jorgensen. And as long as I've been doing this, I have never seen odds like that.
So what's that? Somebody do the math. 96%, 95% for Biden. I mean, that's unheard of. Plus, soil and water is the same. Amendments are the same. Down ballots the same. Council, mayor, whatever referendums. This is a statistical impossibility, right? So you saw that, and what about the other thing? They weren't folded.
Correct.
No crease.
As I ran my hand over these, there was no wear on them. Even when the ballot is sitting on your kitchen table, soil from your hands gets on there. Soil from somebody else's hands when they're opening the ballot gets on there. These were the cleanest ballots I have ever in my life seen.
And if you got to deliver them back in an envelope, Susie, and that's the law,
That's
they
right.
have to be in an envelope. Envelope has to be sealed, and you sign across the seal. Are these magic ballots? Did somebody steam clean them? How are they not folded?
That was the first thing that drew my attention, was the fact that they were so, and then the paper felt different. There was just such an anomaly to these ballots.
Again, that alone would be more than 10 times more than enough to win Georgia for Biden, just those 140,000 votes. And again, you just hear the lady, she's just trustworthy. I trust her. How has this not been dealt with already? I mean, that's amazing. And so sorry. So what you were saying is that Tulsi Gabbard probably, as long as she just saw that those ballots still existed, that's sort of all the proof they needed. And you're sort of speculating that they did find those.
Yes, I'm confident. Well, it's kind of interesting. Those ballots have a very interesting history, because they had to be saved for 22 months by federal law. In that 22 months, lawsuits got filed that involve those ballots, and there's a specific judicial order to take those ballots and segregate them under special lock and key. And somewhere in there, Fulton County, which is to say Atlanta, hired the two most prominent criminal defense attorneys in the state. And they defended them. And then there were a couple years of people fighting to get access to them. So first of all, the first principle we teach around the world is an election without transparency has zero reliability.
Right.
So it's quite strange. Citizens are supposed to be able to inspect this. Many states have constitutional provisions about it. You know, you don't get to find out how Harrison Smith voted, but you can examine all the other. It's supposed to be completely transparent. Instead, we discovered at these key junctures there was complete black box, and any lawyer who tried to help himself gets disbarred, and so forth. And yeah, there was a whole master plan, and it turns out that's just what they did in Venezuela. They perfected that in Venezuela. When Hugo Chavez started rigging the elections, which he first did in 2004, a lot of the techniques he used are what we saw, and they included lawfare techniques, because Venezuela was a real country with real law and real courts and so forth. And they had this whole parallel legal effort at the same time, and that whole media effort. They had everything covered at once. So that should obviously, but the good part of this now is they've shoved in our face for 5 years all the institutions that looked at this and they found nothing. Oh, but 60 judges looked at this and they saw nothing. Our answer going forward, as once this all gets exposed, which may be in a few minutes on, I strongly suspect, on C-SPAN, once this all gets exposed, we can be the ones who say, how corrupt is the judiciary? 60 judges looked at this pig slop and they didn't see anything worth investigating. Let anyone else invest. How, that, so it becomes our point, not their point. You following me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is the thing about this. I mean, if you're going to take down the cabal, the Obama, Biden, I mean, this cabal, 2020 election is probably a pretty good place to start. 'Cause, I mean, if you can disprove that, I think that starts unraveling and it goes everywhere and it gets everybody.
I can take it down all the way back to 2015, even late 2014. I can take, I mean, not publicly, but this was all happening, certainly Thanksgiving 2015, there was a coup in motion, and I was part of it, as I've explained before. It's not a theory, I was part of it. I was tricked, I was cooperating because I thought something else, but I was part of it. So this really all started on Comey, Brennan, and Obama Thanksgiving 2015. But there's actually some evidence to me that it was running by late 2014. They were putting in place things. They were thinking this about how they were going to do this.
Even without Trump in the offing, because he hadn't announced or anything yet. This was they were going to run this sort of no matter what.
Yeah. They certainly had a Russian. I know they definitely had a Russian scandal brewing on the Republican Party. It didn't matter if it was who it was. Maria Butina told me her mission was to befriend anyone from the Cruz, Rubio, or Trump camps. Well, actually, the Hillary, Cruz, Rubio, or Trump. She was supposed to have a friends in, so whoever became president, Russia had a back channel to them. So this was all they were setting up, and that got going 4 months before Trump came down an escalator. In fact, I'll give you you want me to keep going, or I'm giving you too much?
Please hit me.
Okay, those who are investigating the Russia hoax are, the official story is Crossfire Hurricane started in August of 2016. They've dug down and they know that's not true. They know they're back. They're trying to get, but they have said publicly, we can't get past early 2016. The CIA is blocking them. Well, what's on the other side of that wall is my story. And if you want to watch the movie The Enemy Within, you'll see the story of I was on the other side of that wall, and they're not protecting me. They're trying to silence my story. Me and some other people. But if you want to know what is being kept from, literally the prosecutor down here in Miami is saying the CIA is blocking us from getting past early 2016. If you want to know what happened before then, just see the movie that Michael Flynn made about my life called The Enemy Within, or read my book, Danger Close. Here's something. So I know that it was being set up from July 2015 when I was first meeting Maria. But importantly, there's somebody, so we know it was by July 2015 forward. I know that they were maneuvering and setting up the Republican Party. In February of 2015, Maria Butina came to the United States the first time, though, and she was with her boyfriend in Washington, D.C. No, she was with the Central Bank of Russia. It came over, and she was part of that delegation. While she was here, she went to a foreign correspondence lunch, a lunch that occurs every 2 weeks at a think tank in Washington, D.C., and it's open to senators and congressmen and press, both domestic and foreign. Usually the foreign would be like from England or Germany or something. But in this case, she showed up. This was February 2015. She showed up and, identified herself. She had press credentials from Russia, stood up and asked a question like any journalist, conducted herself okay. But after that luncheon, that think tank had a meeting and agreed if that Russian girl comes back in a couple of weeks, don't let her in. It makes people uncomfortable. A Russian here's all this tension. That person got a phone call the next day from Peter Strzok of the FBI saying, no, we know about Maria. We understand that she was there and you want to exclude her in the future. Don't do that. Don't worry. We got our eyes on her. Just let her swim freely. So that tells you that from February 2015, the FBI was setting up the Russian collusion. So I just helped the prosecutor get a year earlier than he's gotten so far. I can get him about 6 months earlier than that. But I'm under this ban. No one can talk to me. Todd Blanche put this ban. No one can talk to me. Intelligence, no one can talk to me. We find ways around it, but I'm under this very unique ban. The CIA, I'll say this publicly, the CIA sent Susie Wiles orders that one person who can have no access to Donald Trump or the White House is Patrick Byrne.
Wow.
Kind of interesting. To tell you something.
That's extremely interesting. And do you think that was all in service of like setting up the Ukraine war? 'Cause that's what I was suspecting, or at least I didn't think it was a coincidence that there was the Russia collusion hoax at the same time that we were overthrowing the Russian-friendly government of Ukraine. Those all seemed intertwined to me, and that timing would kind of make sense, right? It's 2014, they overthrow Ukraine. By 2015, they're setting up the Republicans to be Russian traitors. Did that have anything to do with it?
It's the same people behind it. See, I think this Ukraine war, I'm anti-war in general. I regret any war I'm anti-war, but the Ukraine war is the most contrived war of my lifetime. We generated it. We completely engineered it so this happened. And so Putin invaded, but it was we engineered it.
Yep.
And it seems to me that Obama, Biden, and Hillary, and to be honest, the Bushies have been dead set that we have to have a war in Ukraine. It was completely, I was raised in politics by some real hawks, by Ronald Reagan's chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Jack Vesey, was sort of my sea daddy, as they say. So I have this is the founder of the Nuke 'em to the Glow Society. But in early 2015, he took me to see Schultz and Kissinger. And they all three, who had fought in World War II, they were all veterans of World War II, thought it was insane in early 2015 that we were building to trigger World War III over Ukraine rather than just accept it be neutral. Let it be neutral, like Finland, like Switzerland. We had no reason to pull it into NATO, and that we were provoking a great power. We were going to provoke World War III by pulling them into NATO. So we've been engineering this just for no good geopolitical reason. There's no national security reason at all. We needed to pull that into NATO. And, we always date the war beginning to February 24th is when the people came, when Putin came across the border. But for a week before that, Zelensky was shelling his own population, the Russian population in eastern Ukraine. He was shelling and killed, I think, 8,000 people. So Putin, so we engineered and designed this war and kicked it off.
Absolutely. And he'd been shelling him for the whole time, right? I mean, they separated after that 2014 coup. Totally legal. We orchestrated it. Open society, Victoria Nuland. I mean, we've told the story enough here, but it's, again, not a coincidence that at the same time, the FBI is sending Russian agents to go try to frame the Republicans as Russians. And I think, the anti-Russian activity around Donald Trump and framing him as a Russian, I mean, that very directly contributed to the willingness of liberals in this country to accept the Ukraine war, because big bad Putin has to be stopped. It's all obviously part of the same psychological operation. But General Flynn actually put out a very long and complimentary post about you today, or I guess this was yesterday, saying with the recent law enforcement operations in Fulton County looking back since 2020, one person has been consistently who has been consistently and has given much to the fight to expose Barack Obama-led coup d'etat is Patrick Byrne. So he, of course, celebrates you as not being a sunshine patriot, but a winter soldier. And this in response to a post by Publius that says, ex-Dominion voting system executive Eric Coomer admitted under oath to discussing voting equipment adjudication software and source code with foreign nationals, including Serbians who could remotely troubleshoot in Denver. What was this about? Did this lead to the raid on the election office, or is this something separate? What can you tell us about Eric Coomer and his testimony on the 27th of January of this year?
Well, he did testify on Tuesday. He really tried to get out of it. He had his lawyer write 10 days beforehand a request to the judge that said, okay, I'll come testify, but you can't ask me about Venezuela, China, or Serbia. The judge said no to that. The day of the deposition, he and his lawyer were overheard in the lobby arguing about, we have to derail this. We cannot let this deposition go forward. His lawyer came in, and his lawyer muscled up, bumped up on. Actually, Peter Tickton, the guy out in the lobby, he got sort of in a confrontation with Peter Tickton. He got physically aggressive, and Tickton came into the conference room where the deposition, and the lawyer came in and deliberately got in and was physical in a way, trying to provoke a fight. It turned out we separated them. I separated him. It turned out, and then he immediately got the judge on the phone. They were just trying to derail our conversation. They were just trying to derail the deposition. They did not want Eric Coomer to have to testify. So, and then he testified, and I can't go into the substance of what he testified. Now, that written responses to interrogatories, which he provided a few days before, is where he acknowledged that, yes, while a Dominion employee, and this is a matter, this is on the docket in the public record, anyone can go look it up, he admitted that as a Dominion employee, he met with foreign nationals discussing source code, processes, all the details of the technology, both abroad and domestically. But he's now, it was kind of interesting. I felt bad for the guy, even though the guy is the devil. I felt bad for him in the deposition. I was always taught you try to find something nice to say about somebody. I can find one nice thing to say about him. He is an elite climber, a 512D climber, and put up, which is very, very, that's an elite climber. I'm a duffer as a climber. I was always, not many climbers are 235 pounds. But anyway, he was, so, but other than that, the guy's the devil himself. And I won't tell you some things that came out, I learned that were new to me, but he's really, one thing I can share is that there is quite a tattoo under his arm. He kept his shirt on, and I can confirm there's quite a tattoo there. And other people have said, and other stories have been written that say that's the devil, that's the Satanist tattoo of the Screaming Pope. You Google Screaming Pope, you see that's on his forearm. So I can confirm with my own eyes that I saw, but I can't go into the substance of his testimony other than 15 minutes in, he reached that point where he had to either tell the truth or just bite the bullet and begin lying. There was no mix. And 15 minutes in, I could see him cyclically just bite the bullet and begin lying through his teeth. He didn't know what we had. We have everything already. It was just a matter to see how far he would go. Yeah, he has something like that tattooed on his arm. Oh, it is Right, other stories have been written confirming that. I didn't see it. I just saw the tip of a big tattoo coming out of his sleeve that was not inconsistent with that, which is a Satanist tattoo, incidentally. And there's other people contacting that he's had quite a bad record back to high school. Like people who knew him in high school have stories about basically being what they thought was a Nazi, and out and out Nazi kind of stuff, and being physically violent and such. It's just not a good guy. He's a complicated guy. And my guess is he'll never see justice because he's fine. My guess is he'll find some other corner of the world to live in that will take him.
Well, but this was your lawsuit, right? It was, Byrne versus Coomer is the name of the lawsuit. What is the lawsuit over? What's the contention?
Well, that the movie The Deep Rig hosted Joe Altman's allegation that this guy, just that we say he rigged the election. Joe Altman says they heard the guy on an Antifa Zoom call say something like, "Don't worry about this election. I got this beat. Don't worry about Trump winning. I've got this rigged," or something. So part of it is that. Part of it is just the broader set of allegations that he is the chief technical officer or chief product officer of Dominion, and before that, Sequoia built all this technology. It's kind of funny. We're trying to find the people who built the technology because under oath, I can tell you, everyone sort of points everywhere else. Nobody even knows what a programmer is under oath. It's always somebody in some other part of the world. It's not them, not them.
Oh my
And I
God.
think that what we are seeing the beginnings of the defense take place, though. Dominion's going to say, so I told you about how there's an average of 500 changes to the box after certification. Anyone breaks certification, they are going to say, well, we shipped it out right while it was at the town clerk let it get polluted and let these get installed. But you talk to the town clerks, and the town clerks across America are basically grandmothers. They're well-meaning grandmothers, lovely people performing their civic duty, but they don't really run the elections. You know how they run the election? They have Dominion send them a representative, and the Dominion guy runs everything. And that, they're 75 years old, and they say, well, the Dominion representative came and he ran the election for me. So, they're doing this. But let me tell you, each of these boxes has an average of 500 changes after certification to their library of recipes. It's in an instant, any one of those invalidates the certification, and they don't even dispute that.
Very big things happening. Obviously, we're going to be tuned into C-SPAN, and as soon as Tulsi Gabbard and Pam Bondi start giving the address to the Secretaries of State, we will tune into that. Thank you so much for being with us, Patrick. Patrick Byrne at Patrick Byrne on X. Just Enemy Within docuseries.
Yeah, I showed that just to kind of. There will be no arrest. Ain't nobody going to jail. Ain't nobody getting indicted. This is all theatrics. Just to keep people on the edge of their seats. Yeah, buddy. Do you have the discernment? Ooh, why am I yawning? Damn. All right, let me move to my next video. Dismantling ICE will destroy America. Ooh, will it though? Yes, I did have some cereal last night. This is today, and I want some ice cream. I got some of that Ben and Jerry's in the freezer. I think it's called fish food. Fish food. Me and the farting chairs in the building. Watch yourself now. Don't pull my finger. Let's see what old John Bound reporting has to say about this situation. When that World Baseball Classic starting, that shit February, March, I think. Oh shit. Let's get to it.
We are watching the call of the rare purple-haired booby as it calls out for a clue in the distance. The strange bird.
Wait a minute, what the fuck just... He come out shooting shots like that? Wow. Wow.
Supervenes upon its territory. Purple-haired booby.
Wait a minute.
We are watching the call of the rare purple-haired booby as it calls out for a clue in the distance. The strange bird supervenes upon its territory, oblivious to the protector it disturbs with great commotion and abandonment.
This needs to stop. I'm also, you know, I'm a disabled veteran, nothing veteran. I've never been deployed or anything like that. But you know, my values for joining the military and joining the army, like this hurts to see. This hurts on such a crazy level to watch these wannabes do this. You know, they don't know what they're doing at all.
Unseen by the booby, yet perilously close, lies the object of its fervent search.
ICE is here! ICE is here!
A single, tantalizing clue. Perhaps a glint of something metallic, half buried among the leaf litter, far across the clearing. And now, it calls. The bird throws back its head, the long, slender neck arching in a gesture, both graceful and absurd, reverberating off ancient tree trunks, carrying for hundreds of meters in search of an answer that does not come.
Hey man, what the
Oblivious
fuck
to
is
all
this?
else, the booby leans forward, wings half unfurled in excitement, its vibrant crest of purple filaments quivering with each powerful expulsion of breath.
We have to show up with guns. We have to. There's no other way around it.
Their protector bird, whether they know it or not, is known as U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Created March 2003 as a direct response to the horrors of 9/11, forged in the fires of the Homeland Security Act that smashed 22 agencies into the new Department of Homeland Security. But its roots stretch back over 2 centuries to Alexander Hamilton's...
Hey man, I don't have problems with stuff like that. I ain't ran across no food or nothing I can't consume, man. I have no known food allergies. None whatsoever.
Vision of collecting tariffs and guarding America's economic sovereignty in 1789, evolving through periods of immigration waves, border chaos, and criminal exploitation, human trafficking rings, child exploitation networks.
Hold up, what'd he say?
Drug cartels of collecting tariffs, and for 2 centuries to Alexander Hamilton's vision of collecting tariffs and guarding America's economic sovereignty in 1789, evolving through periods of immigration waves, border chaos, and criminal exploitation, human trafficking rings, child exploitation networks, drug cartels, hundreds of thousands of criminal aliens, gang members like MS-13 and Tren de Aragua, and terrorist financing schemes, keeping our communities safer, our borders stronger, and our nation from being overrun by those who would exploit our laws and endanger American citizens.
ICE is here! ICE is here!
It stamps one webbed foot, then the other, sending tiny cascades of dew from the leaves below. Yet, in its exuberance, the bird has failed to notice the disturbance it creates.
We're asking people not to go to work, not to go to school, not spend a single penny. It is really important for us to have you all stand in solidarity with us. Our communities haven't been able to actually go to school.
To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice.
Well, what we're witnessing, and this is why the larger picture is important here, We're at we're right on the edge cliff in terms of the possibility of America sustaining itself as a social experiment in the best sense of just becoming an empire full of might and force.
This is a cancer. White evangelical Christianity is a cancer. These are the worst of our country.
Shame on every Republican in the Senate who put this wildly unqualified person into a position of significance in the Department of Homeland Security so she could unleash brutalization on everyday Americans, American citizens, and law-abiding immigrant families. It's disgraceful. She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ice permanently.
Yes, dismantle ICE, but also the Border Patrol, also the agency that looks over citizenships and asylum. All of it needs to be dismantled and rebuilt so people are not terrorized by their own governmental agency.
This isn't just about what's going on here right now. This is about this not going any further. It's not going to other states. This is about to stop, and people don't understand. You know, this needs to stop.
Secure borders and aggressive enforcement aren't just policy. They are crucial survival in an unpredictable republic led by a fraud-riddled uniparty. John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
Damn. The Harley Davidson in the bathroom. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't have kind of problems. I ain't lactose intolerant. I don't have a problem with eating pretty much anything, man. Maybe it's my blood type. I can pretty much eat. Now, I ain't tried everything on the planet, but there's a lot of shit I have ate, man. I ain't got no problems. What else can I pull? I got some well, Mike Adams ass said I was listening to something the other day that was very, very interesting. GLP-1 exploding colons. What the feezy? Talk about exploding colons. Talking about Harley Davidson's in the bathroom. Shit, hold on. Wait a minute.
I've warned you about GLP-1 weight loss injection drugs. You know, there are far smarter ways to manage your weight, such as fitness, exercise, making better food choices, drinking more smoothies and things like that, and having more healthy foods and superfoods. You know the story. Well, there's a headline. I'm sorry. It's a headline that showed up at Zero Hedge, and here it is. Quote, my colon literally.
Definitely useless. I'll be showing this shit just to show the connection. Like, ain't nothing gonna happen. Nobody gonna get arrested. It's all theater, man. You know what I'm saying?
It blew up. Thousands sue over GLP-1 weight loss drug side effects. And of course, with a headline like that, you can't.
Ooh, they got all this evidence. Ooh, look, they busting in. They trucking out all these documents, all these damn ballots, and prove the election was stolen and all that whoopty. But ain't nobody gonna get in trouble for that shit. Ain't nobody getting perp walked, indicted. They just have them come to the house and testify. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Just for theater, just for the TV. Yeah, this shit wild. Speaking about colons and shit. I'm about to run this back. I want to hear this.
You know, I've warned you about GLP-1 weight loss injection drugs. There are far smarter ways to manage your weight, such as fitness, exercise, making better food choices, drinking more smoothies and things like that, and having more healthy foods and superfoods. You know the story. Well, there's a headline. I'm sorry. There's a headline that showed up at Zero Hedge, and here it is. Quote, "My colon literally blew up. Thousands sue over GLP-1 weight loss drug side effects." And of course, with a headline like that, you can't help but look in there and say, what? What? A number of people are suing.
Listen, people. I know shortcuts seem like a Bible thing, but if you're going to lose weight, just lose weight. Go hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take a shortcut and use some pharmaceutical shit. Y'all motherfuckers out here getting their stomach lining ate out, their colons blowing out. Come on, y'all. This is terrible.
These companies after using Ozempic, Wegovy, is it Wegovy, and Mounjaro. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these is it Wegovy or Wegovy? Anyway, whatever they are, one Maryland truck driver says he suffered an eye stroke, losing vision first in one eye and then the other. That sucks. Can you imagine like losing your vision in one eye and thinking, damn, I lost one eye. Good thing I still have the other. And then 2 days later, oh, shit.
Well, I mean, I heard motherfuckers losing sight, like they optical nerves and shit snapping after getting a jab. So these motherfuckers, damn, that image is rough. Sheesh, get it off the screen. Go, keep moving.
Both not good, right? A Louisiana woman developed a serious neurological condition after weeks of vomiting and malnutrition. I don't know about you, but, quote, weeks of vomiting does not sound like a great way to lose weight. Just saying. An Oklahoma real estate agent alleges her colon ruptured without warning. Yeah, I don't think they rupture with warnings, by the way. Alert, rupture imminent. While she was driving her granddaughter home from a softball game.
Hey, Mike Adams,
quote, my colon blew up. Literally blew up.
All right.
She's from Oklahoma.
All right, Health Ranger.
I was trying to slim down and feel healthy, but my colon blew up. Okay, I'm not trying to mock. I'm not going to laugh at this.
You did,
it's
motherfucker.
Just bizarre. 4,000. I mean, she's the victim, I suppose. But I don't know what is in your colon that caused it to blow up. I mean, I don't even know how a GLP-1 drug could make your colon blow up unless you had something sort of, blow upable already in your colon. What are you eating? I'm sorry. I don't need to go there. Maybe add some fresh fruit to your diet. I don't know. Is that a thing?
She been getting their ass blew
All
out.
three are among the 4,400 plaintiffs who have filed lawsuits against the drugs manufacturers Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. And all these cases are now consolidated into federal and state litigation that's going to take years to resolve. I wonder if the websites have to add like exploding colon to the list of side effects. Because they already say blindness and cancer and death, but people take the drugs anyway. Would adding exploding colon to the list that already includes death and cancer, would that stop anybody? Or do they even bother to read any of that? They probably don't bother to read it, do they? Mm-mm. An estimated 12% of American adults are currently using GLP-1 medication. Whoa. That's more than 31 million people. That's a lot of exploding colons. Whew. Clean up on aisle 5. I tell you what.
I ain't no
prescriptions were 1 million in 2018, and now they're 9 million a year in 2022, and then that doubled again between 2024 and 2025. So, get this. Remember how I said that these drugs paralyze your vagus nerve?
I'm not trying to mock or laugh.
Yeah. So 75% of the federal lawsuits include an allegation of what's called gastroparesis, which is stomach paralysis. This is a chronic condition where the stomach slows or stops emptying food into the small intestine. Yeah.
You know, when I started following Mike, when I seen him advocating for so-called Black Americans, telling us about the pharmaceutical industry and what it's trying to do to us, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm a fact with him." Most people ain't finna come out and say that. You know what I'm saying? Not of their persuasion. Yeah, dig.
Because you've paralyzed the vagus nerve. Your stomach broke. Okay? And that's why people vomit for weeks, because they eat and the stomach won't empty. See, here's the issue, in my opinion. But, you know, I am a food scientist, so give this some weight. Here's my opinion. These side effects that we're seeing here, these are happening to mostly obese, malnourished people who have very poor health to begin with. And I'm not trying to defend the drug companies here, but I don't think that a healthy person, you know, an overall healthy person that's got good nutrition and good levels of vitamin D and, you know, good levels of fitness, etc., and isn't obese, I don't think a healthy person would actually experience these side effects. But then again, if you're already a healthy person and you're fit, you probably wouldn't be injecting with GLP-1, would you? I'm just guessing. So the very people that use this drug are the people who are most at risk of the side effects of the drug, in my opinion. These are people that are already marginally malnourished in terms of nutritional density. They're people who tend to live on junk food, Pop-Tarts and what have you, you know, processed fast food, junk food, basically nutrient depleted food. And so these are people whose colons barely work anyway. These are people who probably, like, they only have a bowel movement once or twice a week. And, you know, that's a crisis statistic right there. And if you think about it, if you're already only having one bowel movement a week, then at that point, you're only one missed bowel movement away from an exploding colon. Think about it. So I think, again, I'm not trying to blame, you know,
Hey, what the hell is a Death Ranger?
I'm just saying that
put your glasses
it's probably
on,
a bad
man.
idea
Put
to
your
keep eating
glasses
a bunch of processed junk food and having a very poor lifestyle and then think that you're going to solve it with an injection of a big pharma, you know, venom peptide, basically, that paralyzes your vagus nerve. That is probably a bad idea. Just saying. And not only are the health implications of all of this rather catastrophic if you're already in bad shape and then you get hit with these drugs, but also, you know, exploding colons as you're driving home, that also really harms the resale value of your vehicle, it turns out. One plaintiff alleges in their lawsuit so-called Wernicke's encephalopathy, which is a neurological condition that's known to be caused by a deficiency of vitamin B1. So, of course, I have the question, why don't you take vitamin B1? But no. Oh, you're not a doctor. You can't prescribe vitamins. Okay. Well, enjoy your exploding colon. I mean, you could take vitamins. Again, not trying to blame the plaintiffs here, just saying there are better ways to achieve health. Some of them involve taking nutritional supplements. You know, have any of these people had their vitamin D levels checked or their B vitamins checked or calcium or magnesium, etc.? I bet you they haven't seen a superfood forever. They don't even know what superfoods are. In Louisiana, this one plaintiff says that his wife developed permanent brain damage after months of vomiting while taking one of the drugs, Mounjaro. I mean, my goodness, that sounds horrible. Months of vomiting. That probably would cause brain damage. Did they keep taking the Mounjaro? Is that what it's called? Mounjaro? I'm just wondering, if you start to have negative side effects, do these people keep taking the injections? Do they keep eating processed junk food? Maybe what they need is like a crash course from, the health ranger, like how to make healthy food choices. Here, let's talk about ingredients. Let's talk about how to just be smarter in the grocery store. What are you eating? But that's not allowed in the medical system. Oh, food has nothing to do with your health. That's what doctors say. Even to this day, they still say that. Not all of them, but many of them do. Oh, even Oprah said, like, obesity is not up to you, not your fault. Obesity, it's because of your genes. Okay, well, if there are genetic influences, I'm pretty sure your genes can't control your hand. And you can still make better food choices, because don't you control what you buy at the grocery store? Don't you control what's in your refrigerator? Who's got the fork in your hand? Who's got that? That's you. That's you. Use the fork wisely. Use the forks, Luke. Sorry. Okay. Enough. So anyway, I think obviously there are no shortcuts to lasting health. You know me. I've been advocating clean foods and healthy foods and nutrient-dense foods for 25 years. And I don't jab myself with these things to try to look, extremely thin in my waist. I don't care. I really don't even care. I don't weigh myself at all. What do? I go out and jog now. I'm able to jog an hour at a time. Thank goodness. Because of some of the healing peptides that I discovered a year ago. I'm out there lifting kettlebells. I was out there in 20-degree weather recently lifting kettlebells with gloves on, because I only work out in the forest. I'm just saying, I don't take shortcuts either. I put in the work. I make the smoothies. I buy the healthy foods. I shop organic. I do the exercise. I drink clean rainwater. I take the high-end supplements. I'm taking black cumin seed oil. I'm doing turmeric. I'm doing broccoli sprout powder, and all the amazing high nutrient density products that we sell. HealthRangerStore.com. I built the store around all the products that can help you maintain your health.
All right, Mike, quit selling your shit. The hell kind of comment is that? Get alone in your secret place. Confess all the worst sins you can remember. Oh, hell no. Yeah, that comment will be held. Let me show that. What the hell is that? Who is this? Charles Anderson. How you doing, Charles? How are you this afternoon? I'm trying to find this video. Mike Adams and this one cat was talking about that same. I don't know if they brought up the H302, but they was talking about the light that light therapy, and damn, where that shit go? I'm gonna find it. Maybe I'll find it. We go over that later. She want to be thin. She need to do it the hard way. I mean, it's not exactly hard, You get your blood flowing, you sweat, you you do fasting, intermediate fasting. It's like when you fast and your body doesn't have any carbs to convert, so it turns on and starts converting the fat cells or the fat in your body into energy, and it'll start burning the fat. So, you can't turn around after you fast, start eating crazy because yeah, the red light. You have to. Damn, what is it? I'm having a brain block. Try to do too many things at once. I need to find this. It's got to be in my history somewhere. Thanks for the subscribe though, Charles, because you had to be a subscriber to make that comment. Stop making excuses. It ain't harder for women. It's harder for us as we age because metabolism slows, but that all depends on diet, daily routine. Me, I'd be like, I'm gonna lose some weight in the summer when I'm playing baseball again. So in the winter, I'll be sitting around eating ice cream and cereal and shit. Oh shit! I got another half hour to tinker. If anybody wanna, meeting finally over, huh? How'd it go? Everything's successful. We get that. We gonna go cash that check, player. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, but I need to find this. I need to find it because it didn't dawn on me till this rising and what they was talking about with the H3O2 and the light therapy and shit. I'm like, wait a minute, I just watched some shit on this like two weeks ago, maybe. I don't know why I didn't jump on live and share it. Oh shit. Oh, so your lack of sleep last night didn't too much affect your meeting. I'm trying to smoke myself to sleep. That ain't even work. That shit did not work. Oh yeah. Maybe shit. Now I gotta find it. I'm gonna be on a mission until I find that shit. Straight up. Stop making excuses. Now I'm on the hunt. Let me look at my history. My shit, I know my history. My history is retarded because I know we all hella different shit. Listen, watch it talk. Yes, sir. Let me see. Criterion News Cast. What up, though? What's facking?
What's happening?
Shit.
Yeah, it worked. I went to sleep for another couple of hours.
Oh, that's what's up.
got up and got to it. That was a boring meeting, though. I shouldn't even went.
Yeah, y'all was conversating last night. I said I ain't finna shut this off. I'm gonna pass my ass out.
Yeah, we was on that easy water.
And then I see and I got up, I was reading, it's like she fell off or something. She got booted out the live stream.
She said she was about to go anyway, so I was like, I might as well go grab something else to munch. And after that, I faded. I watched something and faded on off to sleep.
Shit, it had to be about what, 4 or 5 by then.
For me, it was probably 6 something.
Oh shit, that's right. You an hour ahead, huh?
Yeah, I'm an hour ahead of you.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this damn video I was looking at, man, with this red light therapy, kind of on that shit we was talking about last night.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought up with the H3O2. It's not the first time I heard about this either. I need to learn how to extract silver. That's what I need to be learning.
Extract it from what? Hey, Nanya.
I seen this dude on TikTok extracting silver from like liquid, like using liquid. He was growing this shit or something. It was like 99% silver. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
He was growing it.
Let me see if I can find that shit real quick. I'm gonna show it to you.
All right.
Yeah, Yaki was talking about H3O2. Yeah. Let me go to my Facebook.
What's going down? What's going down?
Goes my TikTok.
No, not those. That one.
Yeah, it is TikTok.
Other box. One is
not open.
Not open, yeah.
So you got it moving and grooving over there, player.
I do. We always busy.
Shit, that's life, goddamn me.
Yep.
I should have this shit saved in my
Charlie,
in my
can
save.
you put some paper plates in the cabinet for me, please? Yeah. Can you put some in the cabinet?
Oh yeah, here it is.
This is 99.99% pure silver crystal being grown in an electrolytic silver cell. Look at that beautiful stuff in there. Very beautiful stuff. I'm finally got the pH dialed in where I want it. It's looking like I want it to look. Absolutely beautiful.
I definitely need to learn how to do this.
Growing on top here. Very cool. Look at that.
As soon as he's done, I'll tell you how.
Clean, clear, beautiful silver crystal. Finally getting where we want it to be. 99.99% pure silver. I could take this out of here and melt it. Here's a bucket of it. Over $110 an ounce, you guys. Isn't that crazy? I'm actually resending this through because I don't know. I haven't looked at this one yet today. This one's a little cloudier, but not much. It's starting to get to where I want it to. See that big old dendrite hanging off of there? Oh, I got to correct that here in a second. But you see all the crystal growth in there. Absolutely 100% beautiful, beautiful stuff, you guys. I thought I'd share that with you. I do.
I gotta play that funky ass music in the background all the time.
crystals on my TikTok. I'm live every day. So if you want to buy some, just
basically, that is some. I need to learn how to do that.
Let me tell you right now, he is not generating silver.
He ain't.
No.
So he's lying.
Yeah, he's a content creator, bro. He's refining silver, not growing it. You see right there what King Bird say? See it right there on the page? It said you're refining silver, not growing it. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
He's refining silver. Okay, so the silver comes from a source. So what you do is you could take something that has silver in it, like silverware, for instance. You can get the stuff that's got the silver plate on it,
right,
and put it through a process. It's a chemical process where you just extracting the pure silver and leaving everything else. So it's a refining process. He is not generating silver.
Hold on, man. We got a loud nigga in the cut. Hold on, I can't hear shit. Hold on.
Who loud? Who is you calling loud?
Some background noise.
Oh, that's the garage. The garage.
It's always Just Jay coming here with that noise and shit.
What? Just who? Now you know you wrong. Oh, Just Jay.
It's all good, Just Jay. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just knowing you.
You should have came up with a better name, though. Come on, Just Jay.
Just Jay.
You more creative than
my
that,
real
you know
name.
what I'm saying? You got more creative.
I don't even have Jay in my real name, so why would I do that?
All right. Wait a minute. Hey, somebody in the comments said, my diamond tree is doing great.
Hilarious.
Yeah, they got jokes. They cracking jokes on him because he's leading people to believe he's growing it, but he's refining it. All that silver came from somewhere.
Oh, it came from silver to make the silver?
Yeah,
But
you just you extract it from things that have a silver content. You can do the same thing with gold.
But silver and gold are just carbon.
Okay, that's kind of beside the point. I'm just saying, you know, that's
you see what this dude say? This deal cat.
You just need the frequency. Right?
But it's important to clarify that this is refining, not creation. You cannot grow silver out of nothing. To grow 1 ounce of silver crystals, you must start with 1 ounce of actual silver.
See?
Yeah. Usually dissolved in acid. Science can purify silver, but it cannot create the element itself without mining it from the earth first.
Right. So if he was smart, he just he extracted that silver from other things. You know, you can do it from silverware, China. You know,
well, that's colloidal. That's just doing colloidal.
It's different. It's
old computer parts.
Yeah, exactly. Old computer parts, etc.
Right.
So
you can actually extract the gold too.
So it's harvesting then.
Yes, that's all he's doing.
Well, I need to learn how to harvest chickens.
Well, to do that, you gonna get into the junk business. Now you got to become a salvager and a scrapper.
Yeah,
and that's what's gonna get on your nerves and not be worth your time. See, I'd be doing that shit if it was really worth my time because I know how to do it.
Right.
But it's not where I can make money faster doing other stuff. You know, I used to be a jeweler, so I learned all that, but I really didn't have time to go out and salvage stuff, extract the metal, and then make jewelry out of it and then sell it too.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah, so I just I just bought it from jeweler supply or from people who extracted it like this. But that scrapping, you know, trying to find enough stuff that's got that silver in it ain't gonna be worth your time, you know, unless you got a source of it. Yeah, you could have a source like if you had a
this
resale
motherfucker
shop.
got 1.2 million views on that shit.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. See, if he was making enough money extracting that silver, he wouldn't even be creating content. That's where his money came from, is that content. He gonna keep creating content. He ain't selling that silver.
He probably a scrapper.
He may have did a little scrapping, but I'm willing to bet that, you know, most of that silver he probably he bought some of it to make the video, because that's a lot of silver there.
Yeah. He said he's selling this shit.
Yeah, I don't believe him. I mean, you know, he might be selling it for $110 an ounce.
Right.
You know, but he can't keep that up. It's not sustainable. Once that supply right there is gone, then, you know, he gonna have to come up on some more silver somehow.
Gotta find another source.
Right. That look like he's sitting on about 10 pounds.
Man. Man's got a lot of shit.
Silver, folks. This is
got a lot of shit.
It's like about 10 pounds, maybe a little less. Yeah, but that whole process is good to purify your silver, get all the impurities out.
Right, he could be taking dirty silver, snatching all the good shit out, refining it, and get into the 99 percentile range.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he's doing. I'm turning around and selling it for $110 an ounce.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he could take nickel and run it through that process and make sterling.
Yeah, man, where the hell is this shit at? I see they released a gang of 1 million pages of Epstein shit. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
And nobody's getting arrested.
Right. Why even bother going through it? Can't even get the Clintons to shut to answer their subpoena. Why we even give a fuck about it anymore?
Is somebody playing with aluminum foil in the background? What's going on?
No, I'm unpacking something out of my car. All this stuff.
Jeffrey Epstein says Bill Gates caught sexually transmitted disease from, quote, Russian girls, then suggested secretly slipping Melinda antibiotics. New emails and DOJ release claim. Oh, boy. Bill Gates slept with Russian girls, got a sexually transmitted...
go, man.
Busted Bill.
That's the first motherfucker I need to see arrested.
Hell yeah. Right along with the Clintons.
Right. Bush Jr. And then me Obama. Other than that, it's all smoke and mirrors. Y'all full of shit. Political theater. Welcome to the theater.
Enjoy the show.
Don't they call that shit the world's greatest show on earth?
Yeah.
Yep.
Circus.
Yeah, they even got a show. I think they got a series called The Greatest Show on Earth. They be following these motherfuckers around. Especially during like the election time. Bill Gates caught sexually transmitted disease from a Russian bitch. From a Russian bitch. I'm sorry, from Russian girls. Bill Gates, you was giving that, you be passing that shit out. He probably gave it to them. He probably slipped something in her drink, gave her a shot while she was asleep. Right in the arm. We just give it to him right in the arm.
Sound like Bill Gates needs some of that healthcare, vaccines, and reproductive health he was talking about for population control.
Yeah.
He need to take some of that shit.
Yeah, they was trying to ban my accounts when I was posting that shit. Like, trying to say he never said that. Motherfucker, this is him saying this shit out his own damn mouth.
So
Right.
is that why Melinda left?
She trying to separate herself from that shit. Bitch, you in on that shit too.
That's a man.
Right. Most of them is.
Yeah, most of them are. He trying to slip her antibiotics because he done burnt her and don't want her to know.
That is fucking terrible. Bill, hey, Mr. Bill Gates. Yes, I said your name. Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates. From what I gather is like, okay, from the information I've ran across, it's like Trump was pretty much like a CI that helped the FBI bust Epstein. What I got. But at the same time, like, hold up. Shit ain't adding up.
That's what they say, but you can't believe none of that shit.
None of it.
We don't know what the fuck is really going on.
They'll tell you anything.
We got to be out for ourselves at this point.
Fact.
Indian only.
Right, our people. That's it.
That's why I be showing this shit to show people like, look, man, can you see through this shit? Look through this shit.
Right, just leave us alone. Leave us the fuck alone. Leave us out of it. We done with all y'all motherfuckers. All of you.
Well, I got a couple mestizos.
See.
I can't. Them family for me.
It be the women.
I mean, your blood relatives, I understand, but anybody else, we all got friends in other categories, but it's all about survival at this point.
But we get to keep a few, don't we? We get to keep like some servants, some handmaids.
Well, if your servants and handmaids get caught in the crossfire, just don't be mad. That's all.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
If you want to, but if they become collateral damage, then understand.
Shed a tear or two.
All right.
Right. I can only do what I can do.
This happened. happened?
I got them too, but you know, we talking about the survival of our kind. You know, we probably the closest to. We could be the closest to extinction out of anybody.
Right.
We
I
don't
mean,
know. All we
at the end
know
of the
is
day, we do come first because they weren't even supposed to be here.
right. I mean, like all we know is, I mean, ignoring everything else, all we know is everybody else been gunning for us. We got to worry about everybody else and even some of our own kind that look like us too.
Oh yeah.
So how could they blame us for anything for delineating? You know, 'cause we have to delineate for our own survival because we, you
I
know,
call
don't
it
nobody like
differentiating.
nobody is in our corner. We ain't even in our own corner. So it's a survival thing. Now you got to feed them with a long handle spoon.
Right. I have a mestizo bestie who pretty much told me everything, you know, about what's going on. And this was like 3, maybe 4 years ago. And then time went by and now she acts like she don't even remember telling me. She said her elder
telling you or something.
Well, yeah, because her family started jumping on her.
Uh-huh.
She said when she went to Mexico, the elders pulled them to the side and said, the Negroes were here first. They're the real Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
So they know.
Oh yeah, they do. But I mean, like, their stance is, if we reclaim our rightful place, then what happens to them?
What happens to exactly? I mean, that's a good question, but that's not my problem because we're living on the edge of hell trying to, you know, keep our head above water while we really shouldn't be struggling.
We not no threat to them. We not no threat to them. They was here before the invasion too, before the second invasion. We welcomed them here, but they ain't the ones that caused the problem. We know who caused the problem.
Who caused the problem?
The second invasion caused the problem. It wasn't the first invasion.
The second invasion?
Yeah. The second invasion caused the problem. We had them under control.
So wait a minute, because okay, what is the first invasion you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm really trying not to say too much, but the first invasion is what they call in the Bering Strait.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, they had about 5 invasions.
Oh yeah, it was many more than that. We got invaded from all sides, but you know, the mainstream ones that everybody talking about, you know, it wasn't their the mestizos, it wasn't their invasion that really caused the problem.
A lot of that shit was received with open arms.
Right. You know, we basically delineating from them because they sided with the other motherfuckers. That's all.
These people in this neighborhood is weird. It's full of all these red dots.
I've been seeing hell of them motherfuckers around here. I don't mean hell of them.
With they stanky ass.
I'm telling you, I've been seeing a gang of them motherfuckers in the last year. They getting them with them HB, what they call them, HBP ones or what?
B1 visa, CPB1 visa. Einstein visa. And that's a bunch of crap because we are computer programmers by nature. Because we're the creators. I remember like I had a job. I wasn't even in technical support. I ended up basically controlling it. They had to give me a passcode. They full of it. And all of the little Asians were very, they ran to me for help, but they were very jealous because the top one, her name was Alpha of all names. They stopped going to her because she couldn't fix any of the glitches in the system. And I had a higher tester than this lady. These people are not what they say that they're shields. Complete shields. They want to make us think we're less than, but in reality,
Now I'm trying to find something on what Mama Chief was talking about. She was pretty adamant about some Project 2025 and how they what was she saying? She was reading something. I will pull that shit up. She was saying something about erasing lineage and
I didn't see that, so I
what the hell is my history?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, there it is.
I didn't even get the notification that she went live.
I'm gonna find it real quick. Hold on.
I thought they banned the GLP-1.
The what?
I thought they banned the GLP-1. Because so many people ended up in the hospital near death. Like, how are they still giving that out?
What the hell? Wait a minute. 2 days ago, 1 day ago. Not none of that.
You need a secretary. That's what you need.
I need
Somebody
to be a
just to
little more.
organize.
Need a little more, hold on. Oh man. Yeah, I had to find that shit. I had to look at this shit because, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to find that shit right now. She said I need a secretary.
Why not? The way it's going, you might need a couple.
A couple secretaries.
Yes.
You know what I need to do is practice more organization. That's what I need to do. Organize your damn. I got to start doing timestamps on certain things and archive them right.
I know this man ain't been sitting here waiting for no hour. You should have called the pimp. What is you doing?
Damn,
That's
pimp.
crazy.
What's wrong, pimp?
I mean, I just don't like people that act brand new.
He was chilling. He probably had his eye on a little female around there or something.
That's his business, but he still could have texted somebody and said, "Oh, I'm here."
I don't need to call mama just yet. I'm gonna sit here and scope out the scenery.
Little weirdo. How long you been?
Almost like an hour.
Why you told me?
Oh,
I was waiting to hear from you.
Huh?
I was waiting for you.
Oh, I text Javier. And
But he didn't comment. I mean, he didn't say nothing.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Just here to pick up the keys and the
Okay.
control. But I guess you still need it, right?
Are you gonna check it or what?
Nah, not at all.
Okay. Oh, let me.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna start working.
Okay.
But I guess you still need a key.
Shit.
I don't really need the key.
Man,
but I
what's
just need to go in the
facking,
back and
bruh?
get something out.
Go for it.
So.
I can help you. Right?
Okay.
What's facking?
Let me call you. Let me.
What's the word, man?
Chilling, man. How you doing? Nanya. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Chief.
All right, man. How everybody doing? Y'all, man, I've been so busy, man. It's been crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. But I wanted to chime in, though. What I missed, man?
The lock looks like it's not working.
Yeah, it's been broken for years.
Man,
And I think what's his name, Carlos.
I mean, you ain't missed much. I mean, shit. They got a debate going on tonight about American Indians participating in politics in 1924 or something like that.
It's like a mopping and it's still
Between Dulcie and Aton.
See that one.
Is Aton on here? Is Aton on here right now?
Is there a cycle or no?
I think so.
That's who?
It's Tim Washington.
Yeah, it's open.
What up, though, Chief? What up?
Do you think that's nice or what is it?
Hey, man, I don't think
shoot,
Aton gonna step out. Yeah, shit going on. Hold on, y'all. I got a bunch of shit going on.
Yeah. Oh shit. Sound like he was over there grubbing.
I know I am.
I was just thinking about something. Like I don't even need to be eating that right now. I ain't broke my fast this rising yet. It's this afternoon. It's in the afternoon. It's time for me to break it. I ain't go to sleep till 4.
Shit, you went to sleep eating.
I did. The little burgers wasn't enough. I was like, man, I need a bowl of cereal.
Okay.
That be that weed, man. Be that weed. I'm supposed to be losing weight for the baseball season. It's around the corner and shit. I can't be pigging out on gargantuan bowls of ice cream.
Oh, hell no.
Oh shit. America's under attack. No, I'm just playing.
Ice is rolling down your block.
they gonna hop and jump and skip over my crib. That's what they better do. Nah, that's a kind of Amber Alert. Damn.
Oh yeah, they gonna pass by your house.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't trying to get no safe life repair, safe life replaced.
Oh hell no! You don't ask me to that shit. No sir, no sir. Hey, that shit's supposed to be going down right now, January 31st at noon. That shit's going. That's Pennsylvania. So what time is Pennsylvania? That's an hour ahead too, ain't it?
And dude said, I seen the messages where dude said he was gonna send Rico Dukes a ticket. So Rico Dukes supposed to be there right now.
Yeah, that's supposed to be going down right now. Like right now, ain't nobody covering this shit. Ain't nobody. Ain't. One would think that
yeah, we needed somebody we could.
Damn, they disconnected me and shit. That's the whole business. They like, y'all quit talking about that shit.
Right. We really needed somebody we could put on the plane.
Man, we needed somebody there. I'm telling you, boy, that shit. If I was close enough, I'd have been in that motherfucker reporting live.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the shits and giggles. You feel me?
Yeah, we should have sent like BAP up in there.
I was trying to get BAP. He was like, he ain't in Philadelphia. I don't know where he stay at now, but he was like, man, they got he said, I got a debate on the 31st.
We just said Chief went up in there and caught some cases. We got to have bail money for Chief.
Oh, this shit finna stop now. This motherfucker. Hey, what the fuck wrong with y'all?
Next time we talk to him, what happened, Chief? Man, I put belt to ass.
I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened.
I put hands and feet on the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? Man, that shit going down right now. Let me browse YouTube and see if anybody.
Look on Rico Duke's page.
Man, I ain't trying to go to this nigga page. Hold on. They Fear Truth, right? They Fear Truth.
Yeah.
TV or something like that, ain't it?
Queen's Flip might be there.
They Fear Truth TV, I think. What's the name of that shit, Chief? Let me search Black Lion event in Pennsylvania.
I bet you they're not broadcasting. They're not streaming nowhere. Unless that one dude that did the interview is, which I doubt.
Let me go to this filters. Upload date today. I don't see. I don't see shit. Might see on the news later. Breaking news. Black Lion event, former Black Panther Party members got into a shootout with a far right extremist, knowing that it's all a false flag and shit. It's all
Yeah, you never know. Yep.
Where none your ass go? She done ran.
And you know they'd be calling that black on black crime. Blow the whistle.
Nuh-uh, they trying to stoke a race war, so it's gonna be, so it'll be, they will label it far right white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. That's what they label
blaming on the Proud Boys or something.
Right, like them cats, or they'll try to say it's some Hispanics, some Mexican folks or something, trying to stoke that shit. You know what I mean? Let's see, Black Lion event today. Yeah, I ain't seeing nothing on that shit nowhere, player.
I knew that shit would not be televised.
I see a Black Lion Day, Denver, Colorado. That ain't it.
What is it, a Black Lion Party for self-defense?
It was Black Lion Party of International Sovereignty or something
Solidarity.
like that. Solidarity, yeah. Who was that knocking at the door? Oh, shit. Who's that knocking at the door? Let's see. First time Black Lion Party for International Solidarity. A day ago, 5 days ago. 4 days ago. Three hours ago. Hold on. That's nigga, you late. Self-proclaimed Black Panther chairman forced to change name. It was 3 hours ago, but that ain't got nothing to do about this event. They probably done canceled that motherfucker.
Probably ain't nobody show up.
Not even Rico showed up.
Rico probably cashed in that ticket, got a refund. He on the couch with a bag of Burger King right now.
I want an extra fry.
He got a couple Whoppers and some 40s.
That's diabolical. That is crazy.
Birdsong probably sitting on the stoop like, where everybody at?
I wouldn't even doubt it.
Where the fuck is everybody?
He's sitting on the stoop with them 5 Africans behind him.
Right.
With the fake dreads and shit on.
He got one African, one Swedish, one Scottish, and a Jamaican.
Don't forget the little Asian man looking motherfucking female that was in the one pic with the, it looked like his Latin chick was wearing the military fatigues and shit.
And the white girl from Toronto.
Right. This is damn, I wish I was close to that mother. I swear I do. I wish I was close to that. I'd have pulled up live.
I wish it was here in Detroit.
Man, if that shit was in St. Louis, I'd have pulled up live. I'm telling you. Reporting live. Got old dude on the scene. Nah, I ain't trying to get to know none of y'all. I'm just here to do my journalistic duties.
Shit, me and my whole crew would have pulled up on me.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit, on the bikes.
You coming?
What you doing over there, Holiday?
What you coming? Okay.
Moving and grooving. Got to be in traffic.
Ain't tried yet.
Oh shoot. Chris, go get my charger.
I'm tripping. I need to be hitting folks with the Bobby Bush meat.
Who eating bush meat? Yeah. You eating it.
Nobody
I
bush
said,
meat.
who eat
Like
bush
them up.
meat?
Let me know so I can go the other way. I want no parts of that.
You know, if Africans eat the monkey. They over there eating the monkey. That's that African. That's Bobby Bush meat right there.
Bush meat don't want to come nowhere near Detroit.
I mean, when you're starving, anything on the menu at that point, right?
Shit, there's so many Africans here that they ordering bush meat from Africa, drop ship.
I remember that cat got caught in the airport.
We got a store right
All
down
that damn shit in his bag, bush meat.
Yeah,
That nigga had monkey jerky or something.
that shit was here.
Oh, it was in Detroit.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was in New York or something.
No, dog. That shit was here, I'm telling you. I know where the African community is.
Hey, one little cat I know, he always coming. He'll pop up. He'll have a little to-go container. He's like, yeah, man, I'll be stopping by the African restaurant getting this fire grill. I'll be like, man, you eating that damn bush meat, nigga. What you talking about, man? I said, you eating giraffe. Them ain't oxtails, them giraffe tails, nigga.
Right. Them ain't neck bones, they baboon knuckles.
You know what I'm saying? You were eating they up for soaking rhino knuckles and gorilla back straps.
Silverback strap shit. Damn.
Okay, what the fuck? You ever stewing hyenas and shit? Come on, man. With the fresh appetizers, the mosquito burger appetizers. And she got mosquito patties and shit. Rat kebabs.
Nigga can't figure out why every time he gets sad, he start laughing and shit. You just ate hyena burger.
You know what I'm saying? I need to, damn. What time is it? 2:30? I got a couple more minutes. I got about 30 minutes. He say, what's new? Let's see. Silver at an all-time high. That's what's new.
Yeah, that was new. That's been new for the last week.
Yeah, I think that shit was, last I looked, it was like 119, 118, 119, something like that.
Something like that. I'm just watching it. If it hit 200, I'm selling.
You know, the dude I follow in the precious metal market. He's saying that shit is prime to get to from 300 to 500 an ounce.
Yeah,
he ain't been wrong yet.
He might be wrong on this one, but hopefully he is, because if it does reach that point, you might not want to. Buy into another metal. You might want to just dump your dollars, because that's what's going to be the issue.
Diversify that shit. You gotta
you're gonna have to, if silver get that high, you want to get rid of your US dollar.
Right. Well, they was saying
if it hit 300, I'm dumping all the USD I got.
He made the prediction for the second quarter of this year.
Well, that's not far away.
Nah, this dude, I've been following this whole little process since like 2019. And he been on it this whole time. I would have missed out if I didn't listen to dude, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he on it. He said anywhere from 300 to 500 by the second quarter of 2026. Because there's like this is new technology out when it comes to like batteries.
Mm-hmm.
In the core of the battery, it takes silver. So you got all this demand for silver.
Okay.
It's limited, you know what I'm saying? So hey.
That means we need to find the miners.
We need to find the silver mines.
Yeah, Canada.
Them motherfuckers so communistic. That ain't even. I ran across a report about Canada where they kind of implementing this shit in some blue states in the US too, that they performing euthanasia on motherfuckers that don't need it. And they justifying it like, well, here's the play. Like, let me boy, I got some time. I got some time. Oh yeah, and they let out new Epstein files. The same old bullshit. That's new, but old. H-1B visa. That's what I was talking about, Nunya. That's why all these Indians are running around this motherfucker, these red dots. I'm seeing all these barats. I see them everywhere. I'm on the road, driving on the streets, in the stores, in the gas stations. I'm like, what the fuck is all these?
Mm-hmm. They're here too.
So they beefing with the ICE beefing with I guess Hispanic motherfuckers, Latin motherfuckers, and they ain't worried about these motherfucking Barack motherfuckers.
No, because it wasn't a whole lot of them that walked across the border.
Yeah, they coming here they getting the plug.
Yeah, them Indians getting off planes.
Oh, Don Lemon got arrested?
You didn't know? Yeah, he got out on personal recognizance today.
For running up in that church with them people?
Yep. No, it was yesterday he got out on personal recognizance.
Oh, that is hilarious, dog. Oh, here it is. All right, come on with it.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I mean,
Agent
you know,
Jones leaps from the sky. Martini in hand.
crime. He basically filmed himself and everybody else committing a crime.
Dying. It has always been.
Yeah, that was definitely a crime. It was definitely a crime.
Yeah.
What Just Jay go?
Understand it. Medical assistance in dying. It is. Act 2, because it is individuals who had. Because now.
Classroom with.
This is so dangerous, folks. You're not shopping for furniture here. You're playing God. It's really bisexual. I mean, this is sick beyond, and I got another article I didn't even get to. I'll cover it tomorrow. Maybe I'll shoot a special report. Brave New World, IVF company, eugenics tool, lets couples pick best baby, discard the rest. They scoop hundreds of eggs out, artificially inseminate, get dozens of embryos, then the family, the mother and dad, look at the babies and decide which one they want and the rest they're going to kill. This is so dangerous, folks. You're not shopping for furniture here. You're playing God. And that's what this really all is about. Here's that clip I mentioned. We'll turn the baton over to Kelsey. Here it is.
Cannot explain how ridiculous the state of California is. My 12-year-old son, he needs to schedule an appointment himself to go see a doctor or a specialist. Because when you're 12 in this state, apparently you can make your own medical decisions. We don't have access to his account with scripts. He has to go in there and do everything. This state is absolutely insane. I should have known when I was working as a janitor in 2017 and I saw Time magazine in every single classroom with a man on the cover that was pregnant. It was a woman with a beard. And you were showing that around Time magazine to all the kids from 1st grade through 6th grade. So my state sucks. It's gone loony. But also the weather's great. The weather is great.
It's still time to move.
Kelsey Sharon is on fire. Kelsey Sharon on X.
Right. They do
You
that.
got kids. California is not the state you want to be in.
No, sir. And they made it, I guess they basing that 12-year-old status around the fact that they made it legal that you could sleep with a 12-year-old in that motherfucker, man.
What?
Yeah, man. California's fucked. And the people ain't doing, and the people
Visiting
ain't
a state
doing
like
shit
that.
about it. Nah, man. I can't.
And
like,
didn't they
like
pass some legislation to where didn't they pass some legislation to where somebody else can come pick up your child and they don't even have to tell you?
Yes, they can go to your child's school and sign your kid out of school. This shit is crazy, dog. California is done, dog. And the people it's so liberal out there, and the fucking people ain't doing shit about it. They ain't checking the local government. They ain't checking none of that shit. They just letting it ride. Like what
Ain't
is
no
y'all?
way I would live in California. Fuck that.
I could never move back. Nope. I be trying to tell my family, like, y'all need to get the hell up out of there, man. You only like 2nd generation Californians anyway. You know what I'm saying? Who's come from like the South? Bring your ass up out of there, man. I did see where Trump blocked that Palisade shit though. He's like, nah, y'all can't just take these people fucking land and shit and just rebuild what the fuck y'all want on here. Gavin Newsom like, wait a minute, this is California. Yeah, y'all trying to steal them people's shit. First, you set it up to where that shit would burn to a crisp, and then you, I don't know if it's arson or not, but it burnt to a crisp. Now y'all want to take it and build this and build that. Nah, we're gonna put a
He should be charged with arson. He the one that left all that shrubbery out there to burn.
Right, empty the water, the water reserve, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, didn't fill the reservoir and all that shit.
Reservoir, yeah, the reservoir, yup. And then that motherfucker was empty. It was strategic. They just spent billions and billions of dollars on a high-speed railway and ain't laid a railroad tie anywhere in it. That's what I'm saying. It's a whole lot of fraud being exposed right now. It ain't just Minnesota. That shit everywhere.
That's why they didn't want Trump in office.
And that's why they've been stealing, they've been taking niggas' money forever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the hell they want with it. Contrary to popular belief, you are the majority. So they've been stealing from your ass, from us, for a long time.
I peeped the play a long time ago.
Yep. Get back to this candidate shit, though. This shit crazy.
Kelsey Burns on X, Substack Kelsey Sharon, and then on X, Kelsey Burns. Kelsey, wow, we knew it was already going, but now it's out in the open. You've got the floor for the next 48 minutes. Then the War Room today coming up. Thank you so much. This is so scary. This is really the death cult. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me back, guys. I do really appreciate it. It seems like after we were on the show in December, we woke a lot of people up, and thank God that we did, because now Americans are realizing that this is no longer just a Canada problem. We're slipping into your states. But I do want to start off with Keanu, because that is a case right now that is going viral, and so it should be. This was a young man. This was an individual who in no way, shape, or form should have been euthanized, but he is definitely our canary in the coal mine. So let's get right into this one. MAID has always been, for those who do not understand it, medical assistance in dying. It has always been for the terminally ill only. This started in 2016 during the Carter versus Canada case when it was challenged. And what that did was open up the door to your doctor being able to kill you if you had a terminally ill only case. That switched in 2021 when they allowed for track 2. That was the non-terminal, the individuals who had irremediable or grievous conditions that could be, you know, this wasn't necessarily a huge terminal cancer you're going to die from, but track 2 was saying that you had something so severe that you couldn't live with it any longer, but it wasn't actually going to cause the end of your life. Now, the reason that's important to point out, Alex, is because most people right now are qualifying through track 2 because it is very easy to get access to, regardless of what the pro-death cults want to say. Now, we know even the corrupt United Nations has stepped in and said that Canada should be repealing and rolling back track 2 because track 2 is so dangerous for the disabled, for the vulnerable, and for anybody who cannot get access to care. The reason that's important to note is because Keanu was not an individual that was terminal. Keanu was a 26-year-old young man, non-terminal, who was losing his eyesight due to diabetes and suffered from depression. And there's something really important to note about Keanu that most people are not aware of. There was a lot of concussions and head injuries in this young man's life. At the age of, I believe it was 16, he has his first car accident, which then left him untreated with a concussion. Following year, he had a snowboard accident with another concussion, and repeatedly after that, he was jumped and hit his head again. The reason that's important to note is because a lot of Keanu's symptoms all come from head injury, whether that's depression or the diabetes that he was already suffering with, which was something he could survive. Also has issues with head injury, meaning instability in blood sugar. He lived in public housing. He was living on his own. He was not terminal. And he was even turned down by doctors in Ontario at MAID House, originally approved by them until his mother, Margaret, made so much noise and exposed this doctor for were trying to kill her son. And then they said, okay, sorry, Keanu, you no longer qualify. The reason that this is important is because this young man had suicidal ideation going in and out of the hospital several times and saying that he wanted to end his life. I just did a press conference this morning with his mother where she was talking about Dr. Tepper. That was the original doctor who qualified him and had the actual conversation with him about death. Now, this was not a conversation about trying to prevent death. This was one where he was educating him on ways to find an assessor so that it would actually help him get through the system. Now, once his mother became aware of this, he never got access to mental health support, post-concussive syndrome, or any of the other things that he should have been given, especially in a country who's supposed to have the best socialized health care. He was actually left alone to manage all of these symptoms with his family. Now, in 2025, so in December 30th, last year, the most prolific killer in the country, you guys have heard me talk about her in December, Dr. Ellen Wiebe at a Willow Clinic in Vancouver, who is known for taking out individuals who are on the edge of what the legality standard is. She has been stopped before by several individuals, including myself and others, in getting court injunctions because she has qualified people to die over one Zoom session with never looking at Keanu's medical records, with never discussing his prior history. But she took him for his word. Keanu was functioning enough that he could have his own dogs. He could list methodically everything that he was doing. He was training, he had travel plans, but none of that disqualified him from death. And the reason this matters is because MAID assessors explicitly state that they do not challenge the subject of suffering. Whether that's the fluctuation of hope is treated is completely irrelevant. And depression is constantly laundered through physical diagnoses. He was not dying. He was struggling to survive in a system that had absolutely no room for him, and it just agreed that he should disappear. Now, he flew from another province. This is important to note because America is doing this with non-residents in their own way of killing with track 1 patients and your 12 states in one jurisdiction who are euthanizing individuals. Here's the difference. He was able and healthy enough to fly from a different province all the way to the west coast of the country and go through and sit with an executor for his will. And he stated very clearly he wanted the world to know his story. He wanted the world to know who he was, and he wanted people to understand. Now, the reason that tells me he was not in his right mind is because he was continually going in and out of the ER asking for MAID. And that is a problem because that is saying that suicidality was present and somehow they still allowed him to make these decisions. Now, he is not the only case that has come forward of what we consider a non-compliant death. And doctors and MAID assessors and the pro-death community will argue that he was a compliant death, because they were able to fill out the paperwork properly. But just because somebody knows how to work the system, Alex, does not mean that they are a compliant death. And this young man right here should have been alive today. But because of Ellen Wiebe and her willingness to play with just outside the law and still has her license after admitting in my presence in Salt Spring Island that she has killed over 1,000 people alone, and self-admittedly in the National Post in 2024, I believe it was 400 people. Now, we should be paying attention to this, and Americans should really take note of this, because with your 12 states and one jurisdiction that are euthanizing, you now have a 13th on the board that's coming forward, and that is New York. So when you are looking at this, the reason this is important is because track 1 deaths are the foreseeable deaths. That is the ones Americans are now doing to their individuals, and they are changing terminology so that they will qualify. And a great example of that is a young girl in Colorado who suffered from anorexia. She was not terminal. She was not dying. She was suffering from a mental health disorder that could have very easily been cured properly if given proper treatment. But because she was young enough and doctors were coercive enough, she got a very sick doctor to come up with a new term that she coined, terminal anorexia. And she was able to be qualified in Colorado under this. And one of the reasons you should pay attention is because doctors are making things up nowadays in order to get them qualified. And this is here what happened with Dr. Ellen Wiebe and with the Keanu case. And ironically, and this is important to point out too, Alex, a lot of the most prolific maid killers in the country have a tendency to sit in a couple different provinces that are more liberalized. British Columbia, the Fraser healthcare system was a huge problem with Dr. Sean Young. He's a nurse practitioner who killed my friend's mom, as well as Dr. Grace Park, who is in Fraser healthcare, and Dr. Ellen Wiebe, who is in Fraser healthcare as well. And in Ontario at Maid House with Dr. Tepper, who originally qualified the young man Keanu. At the time, he was much younger, and still at 26 has had his life taken because he was able to game the system and doctor shopped his way around. The reason Americans need to care about the doctor shopping is because it is no different in our states as it is in yours. And the reason that's important is if there's no residency requirement, you can doctor shop your way to find someone who will say yes to your death versus saying, no, you don't qualify. Let's look at your long-term care. Now, again, Keanu is not the only one that we're concerned about right now. There are several other individuals that have, with the new May Death Review Committee. I've been just interviewed on the Kelsey Sharon Perspective yesterday. I just had Dr. Ramona Coelho on. She's a family physician, and she's also a member of the Death Review Committee. And there are several cases to go through here today with you guys where individuals should not have qualified to die. And Keanu is just the tip of the iceberg, Alex. So, yep, so let's go through some of these guys because I think it's really important for you to understand that this is not an isolated incident, not even at all. This is just a mother who was willing to genuinely stand and come forward and say there is something much deeper. So, right off the bat, we've got a good case here to talk about. A housebound, severely obese woman with comorbidities, just like you heard during COVID. Comorbidities cause people to die, including depression and what do we got here? She was left without care for years. She requested MAID, and when she was offered, she refused therapy. She had a documented case where she was not able to reverse her conditions, and MAID assessors actually determined that she met the criteria for track 1. Now, again, this is why it's important for Americans to pay attention to, because this woman was not terminally ill. This woman was not dying in any way. This woman was just severely unhealthy. She had comorbidities and she was severely obese. And yet the Canadian government qualified her as an individual to have track 1. Now, track 1 on itself is also important because that is what the United States and that is what the UK are looking at pushing through. And that's important for several reasons, because track 1 patients are the only patients that can have the same day MAID procedure. Now, let's talk about that for a second. The same day MAID procedure is huge because that means they're not given time to get adequate support for mental health, adequate housing change, adequate support financially. And this means that they are literally ending the lives on day 1 and 2 of an individual requesting something like assisted suicide instead of giving them proper care. Now, when we're looking at these cases I'm going to go through, we have 9 different cases that are really important to highlight. Case 1 is the one of the severely obese woman. She qualified under track 1. And I'm going to show you, and I know people hate when I do this, but a lot of the argument that comes up here is that it is very difficult to access MAID. Now, if I were a patient and I went in under track 2, you would have a waiting period. And that is where the assessors come in and decide if you qualify or not. The other reason this is important is because you can break that safeguard by saying these words: I am no longer eating or drinking, and immediately you jump to track 1, which then qualifies you to die within a 24 to 48 hour period. That's important because MAID has become such a problem in the country, and it is also in America, that there is more than enough nurse practitioners and assessors to be able to show up and qualify you in that time frame. So before a family has time to intervene, before loved ones have time to intervene, before individuals and a system can come in and actually support this individual and even ask them further questions. How was your sleep? How was your eating? How was your movement? How is your community? Is there anything we can do to ease your suffering? They go, you know what? Forget all of those options. Let's kill you anyway. And in Canada, it is clear to state, it is different than the way they kill Americans. Americans are killed with a cup filled with liquid poison that the doctor sets in front of you and says, go ahead and drink it. In Canada, they remove the responsibility from you by putting 2 IVs in your arms and flooding your body with poison and a paralytic that causes your body to completely freeze, and then your lungs go into a pulmonary edemic state, and then your lungs fill with fluid and you drown to death. The other thing to note is that with the MAID procedure, it does not always go right. The BMJ has come out in the past few days talking about the safeguard failures and talking about the failures of how the MAID kits work and death in general. We even have a case of an individual, I can't say the names obviously, where a doctor came to the home and mated the patient in front of the family, because this is the whole new thing, is you used to go visit grandma, now you go visit grandma and everyone watches the doctor kill grandma. But what they did is the doctor left saying that the patient was deceased. And when the family members and loved ones went to hug this individual, he started gasping for air.
Right?
And the entire family had to witness this with the doctor coming.
You say Kevorkian.
Yeah.
This shit's sick. Still, this shit is sick.
Yeah, it's sick to the motherfucker. But they ain't never stopped. They was actually doing it before Kevorkian, but them locking him up never stopped shit. They was like, oh, well, you know, let's thanks. Let's look into what you was doing.
Yeah, we like your system. I think we'll use it.
Right, exactly. Now that the motherfucker dead, they going mainstream with the shit.
Right. Mainstream.
Cause you know he'd be pissed off if they like, oh, now y'all gonna do the shit legally, right? And I'm still in here rotting.
Right. You gotta peep it though. Who like, what's the growing ethnicity for nurse practitioners and doctors and shit? Ain't it the same motherfuckers that come over here? These red dot motherfuckers.
Red dots, Africans, Chinese.
Yeah,
Asians.
so they're gonna be running around here deleting niggas.
Well, you know, they expanded that donor registry. You know, the elites is they selecting their organs. They need their supply. That's what all that shit is connected to. And that's why they euthanizing motherfuckers. They probably on the donor registry. Somebody need that type A liver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you kind of render the body useless if you take a poison though.
Well, that's the story they giving us.
Right.
That's the story they're giving us. Once they're in the hospital, they can do what they want. They can take the organs out.
They remove the organs before they even put your ass down.
Right. They can take them organs out, then how you drink the shit.
Uh-huh.
They can even make you drink it if you don't want to. You know, they could drop a tube in you and just pour it in your stomach without you even knowing. They control the whole scenario in that environment.
This shit crazy, man. Oh shit.
Yeah, most people don't be going looking for their family's organs after they pass.
No, hell no. Most motherfuckers, the thought process doesn't cross their mind. A lot of people ain't aware of this kind of shit.
You know what the autopsy process used to be? Back in the day when they get done with the autopsy and they putting the body back together, they used to just fill the cavities with organs. They didn't put that shit back in the right place.
Right, they just put it back in there and sew it up.
Yeah. They just throw all that shit in there in a hodgepodge and sew it all back up.
Now no more. They throw that shit on ice and coolers and shipping it out.
Yeah, years ago they started doing that shit. They like, well, they only use these organs anyway. We can do what we want with them, and they've been doing it. Just ain't been saying nothing. You don't even got to be on no damn donor registry. That donor registry just let them know what you got, who you are, and what you got.
Right.
So they can take their
shit.
Yeah.
You can line your ass clean up.
Yeah.
This shit is diabolical. This shit is crazy, man. What's going on in the world? I know these motherfuckers need to go bye-bye or something.
Yep.
That's the most polite way I can put it. Because I probably get in trouble if I say it any other way.
Hey, delineation and separation.
Where does delineation shit come from? That shit just popped up out of nowhere.
Hey, you know, we all start realizing we ain't had no choice but to delineate.
Yeah, I dig
After
it.
this last slap in the face, I mean, why wouldn't we delineate? All these motherfuckers running up in the country talking about, oh, I'm not black. I'm no black. Fuck black people. No, they lazy. You lazy.
No more money for you.
Yeah, no more money for you. You know, they saying all this shit, and now everybody looking around like, well, why black people don't give a fuck about us no more? Because y'all didn't give a fuck about us from the beginning. That's where it came from. You know, we like, hey, what's up with y'all coming up in the hood and y'all not, you know, y'all ain't even cooperating with the brothers or nothing. They like, well, we not you, nigga. They made it known first.
Right.
We realizing that they reaping all our benefits for our hard work, and we still not getting shit. We fighting. And, you know, they living lovely. Like, you know, fuck that. Why would we keep fighting for them? And we ain't getting shit.
Loans, businesses, all kind of shit, huh?
Right.
We're here with an economic platform like a motherfucker.
They get to escape their life and come over here and take ours. But we can't, we don't, what we gonna do?
Show ain't trying to rat at.
We can't go no motherfucking where and get no benefits like that. Ain't nobody gonna give us no free money no matter where the fuck we go. So we supposed to sit back and just let these motherfuckers come up in here and take our tax dollars and everything else that we work for and can't benefit from?
Facts. Man. It's Saturday. I might do me a sipping Saturday night again. I ain't waking up on the floor though. No sir. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. For now, who is that knocking on the door? Nobody. I thought I heard something. Oh shit. You having technical difficulties over there, ain't you?
Oh, me?
Chief.
Oh, he back.
Yeah, he be moving and grooving.
Can y'all hear me? Yeah. I mean, y'all cooking though, man.
shit, I'm finna get my ass up out of here. I gotta head to the restaurant. It was busy as hell last night.
What about them Trump accounts?
What Trump accounts?
Yeah, I'm gonna put y'all up on it.
Yeah, you do.
Trump accounts. Huh?
Yeah, you have to put me up on that for sure.
Yeah, man. It incentivizes making babies.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You over here talking to a bunch of old niggas.
I know this.
Hey.
Hey, shit still work though. I ain't, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
No, we might have to talk about it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a show on it tonight, man. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, no, it's dope though. Hey, listen, Trump accounts, man. It's going down tonight. Y'all gotta tap in, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap in. You gonna be doing it during the fight?
Who fighting tonight?
Teofimo and Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur fighting tonight. That might be a good fight. We might do a watch party for that. I might holler at the cut. See what we got going on. I'll avoid that. I would definitely, move around that one. But yeah, we're gonna work it in. These Trump accounts, though, yeah.
What time ring walk is? But
it's definitely big. Huh?
Hold on, Shakur Stevenson, ain't that boxing?
Yeah, that's boxing.
Yeah, that's boxing.
Okay. Yeah.
That's gonna be a good fight, though.
Yeah, it is.
I think Shakur got his tough.
Is that pay-per-view?
So far. Say what?
Yeah, that's pay-per-view.
Yeah, I sure it is.
Yeah, this is opportunity. He better take advantage of it.
Right. Like take,
He need to go in there and clean all his clocks.
Put him down.
It got to be a clinic, because he's a boxer, but he got to put on a show, you know what I'm saying? Not boring, These two.
Leave it in the hands of the judges, not ours.
Yeah, no. Yeah, T.O. coming to knock him out, though.
Yeah, that's what he need to do. He need to go in there and knock T.O.
He ain't a knockout. He ain't a knockout person, though.
I know he ain't, but, he need to work on that.
They're paying goofies.
Because, he just the one that he'll leave it to decision and end up with a draw. That's how they play niggas like him. They'll leave him down to a draw. Be like, all right, well, let's go with the rematch then. Meanwhile, they collecting all the bread. While Shakur getting ramrodded. Yeah. I mean, if he can't knock him out, like you said, he need to put on a clinic to where Teofimo only touched him 2 or 3 times throughout the whole fight.
That's what be turning me off that shit, man. Because I be watching these fights and these judges act like motherfuckers ain't got their own eyes to see what's going on in the fight.
Right.
And at the end of the fight, they be on some bullshit. You like, man, this ain't the same fight I just watched, nigga.
The mob is a hell of a thing. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mob is a hell of a. Hey, run shit. You already know.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man.
All right, for sure.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.